We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. The Drive-In Theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Oh, what's up, dude? Dudettes? Duderamers?
Dude, I just realized you have like a whole Superman Clark Kent thing going right now.
Oh, my Superman curl?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second. Of course, you know, podcast, we do this thing live, right? Okay, we're just going to start this up.
Do it live.
We do this thing live. We record it live. We don't edit this thing. We don't take, I mean, I've been doing
Hence the quality.
Yeah, I've been doing the Drive-In Speakerbox for like 15 years plus. I don't know. It's crazy. It's all off the top of the dome. And it's like as soon as I sit down, I get like text from work being like, emergency that needs your attention. Yeah, it's just insane.
What's the severity level? Like, is it just say emergency?
Credit card processor is down. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
jeez.
That's a high severity level.
I know.
High. Yeah.
I know. Just
Censoring my
troubleshoot.
drink.
Anyway, welcome to the Drive-In Speakerbox. This is not about my work outside of this. This is about my work outside of work. It's about movies. It's about watching movies, talking about movies, reviewing movies, using our expertise of film and cinema and movie history and pop culture nonsense to incorporate all the things that are going around the world and stream them into a streaming platform just for you to get your week's news in all that jazz. I'm your host, the Boom Operator.
I'm the Grip.
And we got a show for you now. There wasn't a whole lot of movie options last week. It's what is going on here? You say words.
Me say words. Yeah, there wasn't the listings for last week were very light. There wasn't hardly any new offerings. You had a Call of the Wild, which doesn't really appeal to everybody. And then you have the movie that we watched, which was Downhill.
It was an indie movie. It wasn't in a whole lot of theaters.
Yeah, and the rest of what you had was just more of what's been out already. In fact, the people walking into the theater in front of me bought 4 tickets to see 1917. Getting caught up 2 months late.
Can you believe that Knives Out is still in certain theaters right now?
I mean, there's not a lot of choices. You don't have the variety or genres that you did. Birds of Prey was a big bust, so no one's like clamoring to go to the comic book movie. Sonic is like your one family offering, which I heard did great again this week. Go Sonic. That's pretty cool. I've actually been watching a bunch of Sonic speedruns. I have theories for the next one already. It's kind of exciting because of how they did their fan service, but not much out there if you're like us and catch things right away, and everything that isn't getting great reviews like Fantasy Island and things like that.
Brahms the Boy 2.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to go see? Bad Boys 3 ever again, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah, there's not much going on out there. So we watched Downhill.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about
what else would you do?
Because at this point in the movie year, February is generally downhill. So
womp,
yeah, womp womp womp. But we're going to be talking about that later in the show. Some news, a whole lot of news coming out this week. There's they've said it. It's done. It's coming out on Apple TV Plus, which is the dumbest name for a streaming service on the planet. Plus.
It's magical.
Streaming.
It's magical.
Do you have Apple TV Plus?
No, I'm just saying it's just magical. The naming, it's just because.
Do you
it's
know
Apple.
anybody that has Apple TV?
Stupid. I don't know, but
They
now
have lots of exclusives for something that I don't know anyone that uses.
they're trying so hard to get this, but bringing back 35 years later, Steven Spielberg returning to Amazing Stories. I don't know if you guys remember back in 1985, still riding his career high after doing the little segment on the Twilight Zone movie in 1983. They tried to do his own kind of anthology series. It only lasts for 2 seasons, I believe.
You've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah, it had a really good opening title credit song, and it was actually pretty all right show. Kind of more of a family friendly version of Tales from the Crypt and other anthology shows, but pretty good. But Apple TV Plus is wanting to resurrect this, and it is going to be hitting March 6th, so here pretty soon.
You know, something that you just said that is always curious to me, because one of our viewers here, Johnny, talked about Picard, the series Picard. How is it that
Pickard.
Mr. Pickard, when they go back in time to the 1800s and Data loses his head and they meet 1800s Guinan and what's his name? Huck Finn.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer, yeah.
What's the guy's name? The author.
Oh,
Super famous author.
man, now that Mark Twain. God.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
wrong
And
with
they
our
bring him on
brains?
the Enterprise. Yeah, Mr. Pickard. But the point of it is, how is it that a theme song can make or break a TV show like that?
Dude, 'cause that's
Because think of
the-
Enterprise. People don't like Enterprise because it had like a
stupid-
sing-along theme song.
Our theme song rules.
That's true. We got a good one.
We do.
Yep.
It's exclusive, guys. It's a good theme song. But anyway, I don't know. Amazing Stories. I'll find somebody that's stupid enough to pay for Apple Plus TV, Stream Air, iPlus Tunes, whatever the hell that service is called, and I'll check some of it out. But other than that, I'm not like getting super pumped about it because it's Apple. Also, weird news because I guess reboots are everything we have now. First Wives Club reuniting.
What? When was it that movie came out? Like 2002 or
Oh, First Wives
earlier?
Club. Oh man, it'd have to be like geez, let me look. Let me find out. Let me use the old computer. 1996, and then there was 1996, the First Wives Club. And then it looked like there was some sort of project in 2016, but this is the original cast coming back for this monstrosity. We'll see. Geez. Oh wait, there was a 2019. I don't even remember this one. Oh yeah,
Is that a remake?
this was the ethnic flip where
Wow.
they took a lot of prominent ladies and made a TV adaptation from the 1996. But this is a rebooting, a regathering of the original First Wives Club, because if you needed to see what Diane Keaton, Goldie Hawn, and Bette Midler look like these days, you're gonna get to. So yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, they've announced it. They're reuniting to play the former wives of a man who recently dropped dead in a department store. Yeah, there you go. They have to spend their holidays together, and hilarity ensues, I guess. Is pretty much how those pitch lines go.
Vince has a good point. Who is that for? They're like, hey, there's an audience out there, and the producer they were pitching it to was like, you know what?
Daytime television works.
Hey,
Here we go. But yeah, First Wives Club reunited, coming out probably in next year. It won't take long for them to make that movie. One movie news that's been floating around here, and I keep hearing more and more about it, but I don't know if you guys have looked into it, but I haven't talked about it on the show because it was still kind of in the rumor mill, but it's happening. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I don't know if you guys know anything about this film, but I feel like it's going to do to Nicolas Cage what Being John Malkovich did to John Malkovich. Because this film is basically about a fictionalized version of Nick Cage kind of reckoning with his career choices that he's made, but also getting wrapped up in like a drug cartel, kingpin, CIA plot or whatever. So there's like a meta story, but it's about like Nick Cage and just, you know, the career choices he's made and having to, you know, to look Face Off in the face and Leaving Las Vegas in the face and Gone in 60 Seconds in the face and Ghost Rider in the face and reckon with those roles.
What was that one where he could see into like 20 seconds in the future? And then at the end of the movie, it turns out that he had a whole dream about one day in the future.
Oh, man, that movie made me so mad because it was directed by the same guy that directed two of my favorite 90s movies of all time.
Blank Check?
No, it was Alex Proyas who directed that movie. So he did The Crow, and then he also did... Dark City, but that movie with Nick Cage, it was 2019, it was called Knowing, and I wanted that movie to be so cool, and then it wasn't, and then I was like, all right, Proyas.
Are you sure that's what it was called?
It was called Knowing. I guarantee you it was called Knowing, and because he knew he was a mathematician that predicted like the end of the world or whatever, and no one would listen to him. Is that the movie you're talking about?
I mean, I think that's kind of how it ends because he has like a vision of one day in the future. But leading up to that, he was like, I can see 2 minutes in the future, Nick Cage, and he would like dodge bullets and stuff.
I don't know. That was the different movie. I don't know about dodging bullets in the future.
Yeah, he was like in a casino, and people would like throw punches at him or shoot at him, and yeah, it was real dumb.
Anyway, to answer a question on the Facebook, is MoviePass still working? Get a Google, Travis. Connect yourself to the internet, man. Of course not. That thing has been bankrupt for, I don't know, 2018. That thing went out. Anyway, but Alexander Proyas went on to make Gods of Egypt, which was also an unbearable pile of garbage, and hasn't worked since. So there you go. But the unbearable weight of massive talent. I am really looking forward to checking this movie out. It's filming, it's happening, it's going. I'm excited about it. Everybody's excited about it. You know it, we know it, everybody knows it. Hell yeah. I mean, you never watched Mandy, did you?
No, I never got to.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Cage, I'm telling you.
I remember when we talked about it, and I know all about like 10-foot and 12-foot chainsaw dick battles and bloody nonsense. And
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. Anyway, what are you?
He asked MoviePass because why else would we see it for free? Well, because we got A-List, man.
Oh, yeah. So answering questions off Facebook, they said, why else would we see Downhill but for free? And, yeah, we're both AMC A-List members, so we get to see 3 movies a week or whatever anyway.
Next sounds more right. I was going to say Next, but Next seems too much like Push, I guess, that movie with old Captain America.
No.
But, yeah, I think it's Next, yeah.
You're right.
Thanks,
it is Next.
Vince.
2007. I had to refer to the computer on that one. Most of the time we don't refer to the computers, but sometimes we do. Anyway, yeah, that's really all that's been going on in the news.
Did you not see the news today, since we've talked about it a bunch on the show in the past?
What is it?
Weinstein, Wienerstains got sentenced today in New York.
To death.
Yeah, no,
by wiener chopping.
Not quite. But that's like 2 of the 3 convictions he was sentenced on, and now he's off to L.A. to face more charges.
Good.
So how about that?
Wienerstein, I'll teach you to shake it.
Yeah, but that's big time,
big Hollywood
movie stuff, because that was a big shaper of what you would see on screen. It's just completely removed from it, never to return again.
Now, you speaking of really creepy, horrible Hollywood darkness,
where are you going
Weinstein's?
with this
Corey Feldman's documentary is coming. It's going to get a release date pretty quick, and apparently it's only going to be showing in a couple of places, and everybody is, it's a lot of people are kind of wanting to see this movie. It's got a lot of hype about it, but it's called My Truth: The Rape of Two Corys. I mean, yeah, if that title doesn't knock it out of the park, I don't know.
So it's not going to be just about Mouth and Donatello and dressing up like Michael Jackson on the morning shows.
No.
It's going to be a lot less fun than that.
It's going to be darkness, but it's coming out. It's going to get a small theatrical run. I'm not sure where we're going to be able to get it around here, but you can go to CoreyFeldman.net and find more information about that. But the trailer's out. There's a limited pay-per-view. Tickets are on sale. There's a one-time worldwide event screening, or you can live stream it. March 9th. There it is. That's the date. So it's right around the corner if you wanna check that out. So, woo.
That's a Monday, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
If you want to watch that instead of your boys here.
Vince says the What's Good guy is going to be all over that. No, I don't think What's Good guy is going to come in and go, "Hey man, what you got going on?" Oh, one day screening the Rape of Two Corys. Man, you know what? Is Jumanji still playing? I think I'm gonna get a ticket to that one right there. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jumanji, did you guys see? You didn't get to catch this when we were sitting in the theater waiting for trailers to roll.
No, because I was behind an idiot at the concession stand.
I think I'll have the mini corn dog. Actually, no. Can I get popcorn, but with just a little butter? And one of those guys.
Well, he was just sitting there shooting the shit, not doing anything, not ordering anything, and that's why I was like,
I just want my M&Ms and my nachos.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's the Jumanji meets Pirates of the Caribbean film from Disney. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this, but Jungle Cruise. Oh my gosh!
Now, are you sure it's not based off that rail shooter arcade game, the one where you sit?
Have you ever been to Disney World?
And once.
Well, you remember the Jungle Cruise ride?
No.
Okay, it's based off the Jungle Cruise ride, just like Pirates of the Caribbean was based off the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It even has the same font. It's based on Disneyland theme park ride, where a small riverboat takes a group of travelers through the jungle filled with dangerous animals and reptiles, but with a supernatural element. And so it's The Rock.
Was it Disney World or
Orlando.
Disneyland?
Disney World.
Okay, I've been there. Yeah.
And yeah, it's Emily Blunt and Rock the Dwayne Johnson. And I swear to God, it is. If you were to take one part Pirates of the Caribbean and one part Jumanji, smash them together, this is exactly what this movie looks like. It looks so terrible.
It also has Jack Whitehall, which seems like a really weird person to be in anywhere near anything labeled Disney.
Or Paul Giamatti.
Look at Paul Giamatti just continuing that tumble.
What a fall from grace.
Remember when everyone was like, yo, Paul Giamatti, he's the actor. He's
Merlot.
He's the best one.
Oh, so you remember that Merlot? That's where everybody was drinking Merlot because of that stupid movie.
But yeah, Paul Giamatti, everybody thought he was the dude. And then what was it? He was in that movie where he was like a record executive or something. I can't remember, but who cares? Paul Giamatti. I mean,
he was in San Andreas with The Rock.
He was in American. He was in American Splendor, and that's all.
Teaming up again.
That was the only good one. Everybody that thinks Sideways is a good movie, rewatch it. It doesn't age well. Wasn't a fan. Anyway, I was a fan, but I'm not a fan anymore. Private Parts. Yeah, that's it. The Howard Stern movie, which was actually pretty good. Yeah. I'm gonna need you to straddle your speaker there and turn it all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Howard.
That was a movie.
That was a movie. Yeah, that's really about it in the news. Not a whole lot of stuff coming up. But let's tell you what movies are coming out in theaters this weekend, because that's what we do, guys.
Yeah, he was in Straight Outta Compton too. How about that?
Oh yeah, he was in Straight Outta Compton. Also playing another record person. Thanks for that one, Johnny Dalton from YouTube. Right, going into new movies coming out this week. Only two movies that are really going to get any sort of wide release. One of them, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be an expanded release and then a wide release, but we'll start with the wide release first. The Invisible Man. You heard us talking about it the other day, and it's coming out this weekend.
Not Chevy Chase. Not fun. So
no, not even Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, not even Rapey Bacon.
It's just about an abusive ex who happens to be a millionaire, but also happens to learn how to turn himself invisible, and also happens to be a huge psychopathic asshole. Tortures his ex-wife on a dare for trying to get money from her will or something. And it's like, well, you can get all these millions of dollars if people don't think you're crazy. And then he turns himself invisible.
Like, if you invent invisibility, how many millions of dollars are you going to get for that? More millions of dollars rather than torture someone. Because if you're like, hey,
movie plot,
U.S. military, look at this, and they're like, have you told anyone else about this? And
you're like, nope. And they go, thank you. Just like that. What's the conspiracy of the guy that had the fuel additive to turn fuel into? I don't know. I listened to it on Coast to Coast AM once. The story of this dude that used to work for. He developed all this crazy, amazing fuel shit for Chevron, and then he like mysteriously vanished, and all of his research also just kind of mysteriously vanished.
Well, there's also that old man that invented that like insulation that was like fireproof and edible, and it was like non-toxic, and he made it in his garage, and then he was the only one that knew the recipe and died with it, and everyone's been trying to crack that for like 2 decades now.
I know, dude. The antikytherium device. You know, you ever researched that one? It's like that weird gearbox they found in the bottom of the ocean, and it like predates the universe. It's like snake people from Planet X.
That's like a movie plot. That's not a real thing.
No, Google it, dude. I think it's antikytheria device. I don't know. My Time Life books of like weird unsolved mysteries are in the other room, so I don't have them to reference. But anyway, The Invisible Man is directed by Leo Wenhall, starring Aldous Hodge, Storm Reed, Harriet Dreyer, and Michael Dorman. Looks passable, and not in the sense that it is passing as a movie. It's I'll pass on that movie. Yeah, you could read that 2 ways, but the other way, the not good way. Yeah, don't see it. Invisible, get it? Okay, never mind. I will probably see it.
Why didn't they cast John Cena?
Oh, we made that joke last week.
Yeah, we are. You have to. It's obligatory, man.
Because he's too busy making other things I can't see, like Fast and the Furious movies. Oh, there it goes. There's the
Too fast for you, man.
Psh,
too fast.
psh,
Too furious.
psh. All right, too ridiculous.
I mean, what are you doing right now? You're act a fool.
Also coming out in theaters this weekend.
There it is, right there, right over my shoulder.
Get out of here with those. Wendy. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers for this. They kind of stopped playing for a while, but they teased them several months ago. The trailer looks pretty good, although the Metascore is happening pretty low.
The trailer is exactly the same as the Fiji water commercial.
I don't think I don't watch a whole lot of Fiji water commercials.
I'm just saying, if you've seen that Fiji water commercial, then you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it
has like a children's choir in the back, and it has like a little girl's voice, and she's like, the most pure water on earth is Fiji water. And it shows like an island and people swimming, and it has like child angelic voices like, water. Yeah. And that whole Wendy thing is like, what if kids escaped and jumped into the waters off of an island? And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, it's a
Peter Pan movie.
Yeah, Peter Pan movie, which is all right. But I mean,
like without Captain Hook and cool Lost Boys and mermaids and Tinkerbells and crocodiles and
yeah.
You remember the last 2 times they tried to make a Peter Pan movie?
And they weren't good. But here's the thing. Here's what makes me interested in it is Ben Zeitlin is directing it. He is the director of Beasts of the Southern Wild. And Beasts of the Southern Wild was actually a pretty fantastic film. And so I'm hoping that, and again had a child actor in the lead of Beasts of the Southern Wild. I'm hoping that this movie will kind of follow in that playbook because it was very beautifully shot. I think he has a very great eye for he's known for his cinematography, but yeah, I think it could be good. I think it could be all right. I think it could be pretty interesting take on Peter Pan over here, without being, I think that these stories they're not so much like trying to just put a sword in his hand and green tights on and go, here it is, exactly like the book. And it's like, well, it's only been done perfectly twice, the cartoon one and the one with Robin Williams.
Hook.
That's it. Yeah, Hook.
What do you mean the best Christmas movie ever made?
I'm just saying, if you're going to do Peter Pan,
Spielberg's best film.
it's been done twice. And that's it. That's all. That's it and that's all. Hook, and then Disney's original animated Peter Pan. Those were the ones. Leave it at that. And I think maybe this could be a good retelling. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, since you're doing that voice, there was also the live television production with Christopher Walken as Captain Hook. Remember that from a couple years ago?
No.
Oh, you don't? It was, like a live...
Mr. Pan, we're going to have to ask you to walk the plank.
Yeah.
My walk-in. I haven't done a walk-in in a long time.
But that's a thing. You can buy that on DVD. That was live action. Just like they did The Little Mermaid here recently. Yep. There's a thing they do.
When is that? I forgot when that is coming out.
It already did, man. It was like a TV thing.
The Little Mermaid live action?
Yeah.
It's done?
Yeah.
It came out?
Yes.
And no one cared?
Correct.
Oh. Just like Lady and the Tramp came out and no one cared?
Well, but that was in theaters. This was like a live broadcast of
Lady
a
and the
stage
Tramp was
play.
just Disney Plus.
Oh.
No, they're making a Little Mermaid live action movie.
They might be, but there was
that's what I'm talking about.
a stage production.
That's what I'm talking about, not the stage play. Who cares about that?
It was on TV.
Oh, Vince on YouTube says Spielberg's best movie is Hook. I am shook. Who said that? Did you say that?
I said that.
No.
I will always say that.
No.
Yeah.
No. There is a line in the sand.
T-Rex ain't got shit on Captain James Hook.
Oh, man. That's your...
Dude, that gigantic Suchosaurus that was the friggin' alligator in Hook could murk T-Rex, man.
No. He choked on a clock,
dude,
bro.
It had Bob Hoskins Smee.
I know it had Bob Hoskins.
It had
Smee.
Glenn Close going into the boo box, and she was put in there by Apollo Creed's coach.
No, dude.
It has Christmas, Miss Doubtfire.
Dude,
It has Granny Wendy.
I'm just saying.
Toodles and his marbles. It has Thud Butt.
I'm just saying.
Your boy Pockets.
I'm just saying Indiana Jones. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying Jaws. I'm just saying Close Encounters.
No.
I'm just saying all those. E.T.
Stack of potatoes doesn't mean anything.
I'm just saying all them things.
E.T.'s cool because he saved them frogs, but straight up, Hook is the best one. Always.
That's a stretch, bro. Oh, Johnny Dalton on the YouTube saying Duel was his best. Oh, come on with Duel. Anybody's...
All right, let's just settle the argument. Bicentennial Man. There we go. Fixed.
That and AI, I think we just need to just cut our losses on those. Anyway, yeah.
Was it AI that he did and not Bicentennial Man?
Yeah,
or did he do both? They both...
He did AI.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one with Jude Law as the sex you up bot.
Yeah, Bicentennial Man was bad too.
Yes, it was. It was also bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. That's it. That's what's coming out in movie theaters this weekend. Johnny Dalton from YouTube says Ready Player One. Let's not talk about that movie.
We have a review on it. You can go back and look it up.
Yeah, that one's up there. Okay, guys, that's what's coming out in theaters this weekend. Invisible Man and Wendy. You can check them movies out if you want to. I'll probably try and check out Wendy, and you're probably going to not check out either of them.
Yeah, I might watch Wendy. Just because Peter Pan.
You're just gonna get so mad. You go, why are these Fiji water kids just running around, not looking for marbles? Why isn't Hook there? You're just gonna be real mad and indignant the whole time.
I mean, if Rufio don't show up, then yeah. I mean, because he's the coolest. Or if there's no Thud Butt.
I mean, I liked Thud Butt. I always thought that wheel of cheese over the thing said Mud Butt, but it turned out it was Thud Butt.
Also, invisible food. With the like tuba horns, like the euphonium deals playing.
That invisible food looked gross.
Until it was real.
And it looked even more gross. It was just like Double Dare slop all over the table. Like that was the food. Oh, Double Dare slop again for dinner. Yay, we're kids.
Yeah, and then Mark Summers shows up and talks about like good eats or
dun 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 bow. No, that was Unwrapped.
Unwrapped, yeah. Good Eats was Alton Brown.
Heck yeah. Which I'm watching the new season, Alton Brown, The Return on Amazon Prime. Just finished that up in 2019. If you're an Alton Brown fan like I am, I pretty much worshipped Good Eats.
It was good.
It was so good.
Vince said Chris Columbus did Bicentennial Man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, another director that was like, yo, check this out. This is it. And everyone's like, yes. Home Alone, this is my jam. And he's like, but what about this? It's crap. And everyone's like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah. Pass. All right. I guess that's all current events, man. We can just move on to the topic at hand. Downhill. And this is where the show goes downhill. Because this movie, we went and saw this movie, and we watched it in the theaters, and it's a little indie film. I mean, it's playing in about 2,400 theaters nationwide, so it's got that expanded release. It's directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash, and it's starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Will Ferrell, and couple of asshole children. And yeah, it's about this couple, and they're in Aspen, and
they're in the Alps.
That's right, they're in the Alps because they're rich.
In Austria, yeah, because they're very money rich.
They're very, very money rich. And yeah, this movie, man. So yes, as Vince points out in the YouTube, it's based off of a Swedish film that I have not seen, and this movie I assume is not nearly as good as the Swedish original, which generally tends to happen with American remakes. But it is about Billy and Pete, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell, and they are two of the most unlikable humans that I have ever witnessed on screen in one of the most obnoxiously unsympathetic marriages I've ever seen, with two of the most face-punchingly annoying children I have ever seen. Like, there wasn't a character in this movie I wanted to like, except Zach Wood's character.
Yeah, there was like the one guy who was just wrong. He was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm a normal person. What did I walk into?
Oops, how do I get out of here? Trying to be a friend." But
he was the only person that was like,
you didn't want to just
a human
knife their face off.
Everyone else was just the worst quality of what they could be.
And the premise of this movie is simple. It's a couple that their marriage is obviously has some underlying tension going on, and Will Ferrell's character, his father passed away 8 months ago. He's still mourning a little bit, which they don't cover very often at all. They're just like, my dad died, and like in 3 other scenes they mention it.
I mean, they mention it enough times, and they make it like a big point to point out the amount of time and how long.
But 8 months, you know.
Yeah, I think that's why they point it out, because that's a long time. It's a bit over the top.
So they go on the ski trip, and they're skiing. Day 1 seems pretty fine, and then on day 2, an avalanche, controlled avalanche at this mountain resort happens, and the snow comes at them a little harder and a little more uncontrolled. So everybody that's out there on this patio thinks that this avalanche is going to kill them. So everybody's freaking out and screaming, and then it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just like the snow settles, and they're like, "Ooh, that was close." But in the middle of all that, Will Ferrell's character grabs his cell phone and kind of runs away to take cover. Meanwhile, his wife, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, hides the children and tries to protect them under the table. And then when the dust settles, she's like, "Why didn't you protect our kids? Why did you run away?" And then this huge rift in their relationship starts to spiral out of control, and the kids are looking at their father like he's a pathetic, as they said, pussy, and everybody's just like bashing on him. But then things start to flip a little bit as they both go on their little solo me times, and it's just ugh.
It's nothing but pure anxiety, and
The
it's
whole
awful,
movie.
and it's terrible. And every time you see it, you're like, oh, why?
And just people
That's unnecessary.
fighting.
Yeah, and they have arguments over nothing. And you ever watch those internet videos where they do things wrong on purpose, like get the sleeve of your shirt wet washing your hands, or you're pouring something and it just runs down the side of the bottle, or like
You cut
something
something
gets-
all lopsided.
yeah, and or you get stuck in a vending machine or something, and just all of those at one time, because there's an argument that they have over nothing, which should have never been an argument and could have easily been settled or just not turned into a thing, but they make it an extreme point, and it's cringe. This movie is cringe on film, and I hate it. And it's awful, and it made me so uncomfortable. Not like a oh, that movie really made me think, because it put me in a spot where I was uncomfortable, and I could empathize with these characters. No, it just makes you uncomfortable, like you don't want to be there.
So Vince asks from YouTube, he says, the original wasn't a comedy. Did they try to add too much comedy into it? The trailer makes it seem like it.
Zero comedy.
No comedy.
You have two comedic actors, but they're both playing very serious characters.
There's no there's a little
The only
bit of comic
there's one
relief.
character who is a little
Some comic relief.
funny,
like-
but it's not one of the main characters. So.
yeah, the main character. There's comic relief every now and again just to keep you from walking out of the theater. And I haven't seen the original Swedish film, but I can see where the bones of this could be a really interesting family study on relationships and family dynamic, and midlife crises and all these kind of things. But for whatever reason, this movie made everybody so unsympathetic that you didn't care. You just wanted everybody to shut up. And when you see family drama or narrative drama or relationship drama on screen, you can always, you're the third eye in this situation, and you're kind of the omnipotent one. You've seen oftentimes both sides of the things, and you see this drama unfold. But in this movie, even seeing both sides, you're like, they're both wrong and they both suck and everything sucks and this is stupid. Why are they even fighting? I hate this. And there's no part of you that's waiting and hoping to see a resolution except for the end credits. Like, that's the resolution you're waiting for, is like, can we get there? And that was the kind of a bummer part, because it seems like it could be a pretty interesting little drama, but definitely not a big screen. I think the problem is you've got two big heavy hitters at the helm with a pretty strong supporting cast and an adapted foreign language script that just is not translating well to English, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me.
It feels like one of those things where it's like, if you're happy and you
Know
don't
it,
want to
clap
be,
your hands.
No, it's like if you're content or happy in like whatever relationships or interpersonal relationships you have with people, or if maybe there's like someone where you're like, I kind of like this person or something, watch this movie and you're like, no, I want to be alone
Let's
forever.
break up immediately.
Yeah, this is bad. No, because it's awful, and everyone is the worst example of what they can be, and you're just like, I don't want to be anywhere near that ever. And no, take it away.
Yeah, it was stressful. It was stressful, and not in like the good way. Like Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is stressful and anxiety driven, and makes you feel really tense the whole time. But in a way where you keep wanting more, and you feel the tension, and you're just like, how is he gonna figure this out? And you're driven by it, and you're engaged by it. This movie does none of those things.
And it has like almost no soundtrack. There's just so much quiet, and it's so no. Like I bought nachos. I couldn't eat my nachos because everyone in the theater would hear my nachos.
Yeah, it was. And generally movies that feature a lot of snow tend to be really quiet because,
But the snow wasn't a character in this movie.
And it should have been.
It was
like The Shining. The snow was a character in The Shining. And what is the movie with The Revenant? The snow was a character in like snow or what's Jeremiah Johnson, and like all of these things where the frigid quiet is a character in the movie. In this, you'd think it should be, but it's not. It's just like, oh, this is where rich people go to have fun.
Yeah, and every time they're out on the snow, it's not like that's a part of the movie that's trying to be forcing anxiety on you or whatever. It's just always when they're back at the room. And yeah, there's some style choices that are questionable.
I knew that they were trying to develop, Will Ferrell's character having such a strong connection to going skiing and how important it is to him, but it never came off as anything other than, well, this is what I want to do, guys. This is fun. It never.
No, there was, because they had the whole thing with
the hat.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel.
Yeah, it dropped off pretty quick.
It was more like beep bop boop. I'm supposed to care about this because my dad. Here we go. There was no scenes of him really trying to connect to his father on these slopes, other than found my dad's hat, gonna wear it instead of a helmet. And yeah, it was whatever. There we go. That's it. I don't want to talk about that movie anymore.
I'm over it.
Downhill. It's in theaters, maybe near you. Probably not.
And the end's ambiguous, so it's one of those like, you figure it out.
It tried to have this sort of like gotcha ending, and it really just was kind of stupid. Okay, there you go. That's it. Now we need to talk about the box office. Yeah, you ready to do that?
I need to get that.
Shake it out.
Away. Yeah.
Shake it out. Before we get into the box office, always time for a good shameless self-promotion. If you're listening to this podcast, downloaded via wherever you find your podcasts, be it Spotify or iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever it's called. Give us a thumbs up, give us a 5-star rating, give us a whatever, give us a share, give us a like. And if you want to see the live stream and participate online, which several of you have been doing tonight, which is always fun, you can check us out live on Monday nights at 8-ish. Or whenever the grip decides to grace us with his presence. Over on our Facebook or YouTube page, just go to Facebook or YouTube.com/The Drive-In Speakerbox. No spaces. All right, well, let's do this box office round up. We're going to give you the box office weekend numbers for the past weekend, which is February 21st through the 23rd, 2020. We're going to give you the top 10 movies in America. These are domestic numbers only, mind you, unless we specify worldwide. So domestic numbers are generally where they green light or red light new movies or sequels, like the Sonic sequels that we're undoubtedly going to get because it's making so much money.
Yeah, but think of how cool it'll be to incorporate more stuff from the game.
Agreed. We were hypothesizing about that after Downhill. We're like, all right, that movie sucked. Let's keep talking about Sonic. And yeah, it was fun. All right, number 11. I kind of want to mention this because I didn't even know this was a thing that happened. But number 13 was Downhill, by the way. Yeah. And number 11, Impractical Jokers, the movie. I didn't know that, Impractical Jokers was still a show, because is True TV still a network?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, there we go. And much less a movie. It made $2.5 million this week in only 357 theaters nationwide. A very strong theater average, which is actually stronger than the number one movie in America, which I think that's kind of interesting. It made more money on average in its 357 theaters than the number one movie in America. So you go, guys.
I think that's one of those. It has a very targeted audience.
It does. All right, number 10, The Photograph from Universal Pictures, bringing in $2.7 million in its second week of release, coming in with a total domestic gross of $17.6 million. Number 9, Jumanji, still out there in another 2,100 and something theaters, bringing in $2.8 million in the box office in its 11th weekend release from Sony. Total domestic gross up to $310 million, solidifying many clones, knockoffs, spin-offs, sequels, prequels, and the like. Number 8, Parasite, kind of backing off its big jump back up in theaters last weekend, because it's technically been out for 20 weeks, but it got a strong re-release after it got all those Oscars. But it brought in $3 million to the box office for Neon Distribution Company, bringing $48.8 million. Number 7, 1917 from Universal, bringing in $4.2 million this weekend in its 9th weekend release, bringing it up to $151 million nationwide. Number 6, Fantasy Island, the Blumhouse, second weekend release. Not a good second weekend there, dropping hard, almost a 64% drop from last weekend, bringing in only $4.2 million in its second weekend release, only $20.2 million at the box office. I think people don't know what to think about this movie. Usually low-budget horror movies knock off, but this one not so much. Same to be said with our number 5 movie from STX, which is Brahms, The Boy 2, worst title ever. 5.8 million, opening up at 5.8 million. Yeesh. I don't think we're gonna see a Boy 3, but yeah, who cares?
Who knew that there would even be a Boy 2?
It made money, so yeah, there you go. Speaking of boys, number 4, Bad Boys for Life.
It is still hanging in there.
Number 4 in its 6th weekend release, another $5.8 million, ensuring that we are indeed going to have Bad Boys for Life. 6 weekends out from Sony, bringing in $191 million domestically, bring us to our number 3 movie, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, otherwise known as Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, bringing in $6.8 million, continuing to drop out of the top spot from Warner Brothers. Third weekend release, bringing it $72.3 million.
It's really benefiting from no choices available in the movie theater.
This is true.
Because if anything would have come out last week, it would not be number 3.
No. Number 2, Call of the Wild, the movie that, quote, Harrison Ford was born to play, end quote, from the trailer. Cannot believe, I almost spit Coca-Cola out of my nose when just get out of here.
Obviously that person didn't know that he was born to roll his car in American Graffiti.
Yeah. Or No Time for Love, Dr. Jones, or jump off of that dam in The Fugitive,
or 6 Days and 7 Nights.
Oh, exactly.
That's
or
really
Shoot
the
Greedo
one.
First. Or all these other amazing things that Harrison Ford has done that is not this movie.
I'm trying to think of another bad one.
Another bad one? These were all good ones.
Oh, no, I said 6 Days and 7 Nights.
I like 6 Days and 7 Nights. That's a pretty good romantic comedy, and I don't even like romantic comedies. All right, Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. I mean, you could have said Blade Runner.
Dude, Blade Runner, of course, Blade Runner.
Could have said Hunt Down the One-Armed Man.
I did. I already said The Fugitive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Call of the Wild bringing in $24.7 million at the box office for 20th Century Fox. Pretty strong opening for what looks like a big old steaming pile of dog do. Yeah, there you go. The number 1 movie in America for 2 weeks in release. Nobody saw it coming. Sonic the Hedgehog. $26.1 million in its second weekend release, bringing it up to a domestic gross of $104 million at the box office. Added with its foreign market take, has brought in a worldwide of $202 million.
Damn! Internet did it.
The Chaos Gems getting it. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna get another one of those. Faux show. And the music was done by Junkie XL, who I actually met in back in the early 2000s when I was still DJing a lot. I did a DJ set with Junkie XL.
You know what we should have had?
He has gotten famous and I haven't. Bums me out a little bit.
You know what we should have had ready for when we announce that is the noise when Sonic runs by the sign and it spins. Yeah. Bing, 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 bing.
That's when you get the invincibility.
There's like a but there's like a little bit of that theme when you go wow, 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 wow.
And it's got him standing out the sign that has his face on it.
It also does a sad version of that song when you die.
Oh yeah, it's like the funeral Sonic.
Yeah,
not cool. Well, all right, guys, that's our box office rundown, and I know it's a short show, but I've got pinballs to move. Lord of the Rings pinball debuting tomorrow at Pinpoint right here in Northwest Arkansas if you're in our listening area. But send us an email, find us on the Facebooks, do all that stuff. I'm the Boom Operator,
the Grip,
and we'll see you guys next week.
wind up the
Who were
Oh, First Wife
Earlier.
Club, out of my nose.